Hello, hello. Here we are, 2 days from 2026, and it's about 6 degrees out right now. So I'm all nice and warm in my Snuggie. This was a Christmas present from my sister Michelle last year, and I remember receiving that gift, and I remember a few days after Christmas, but my memory of this time last year is next to nothing, and not until about March, April, do I start remembering things. I have like no memory of the first 3 months of this year. I was in a very numb state. I was on a medication known as lithium carbonate, which is a salt, a type of, it just comes in a little capsule, a gel cap, and you shake it, you can hear it, it sounds like salt shaker. And take a couple of those a day, and it would just keep the bipolar symptoms completely blue, and if anything, it keeps you super numb, almost vegetative, and if you're not careful, this stuff can go toxic on you, and I was having that happen to me. I had all sorts of bodily problems going on. I had numbness in my left arm for months. I couldn't feel couple of my fingers. They were completely numb. My right foot, my left foot was fine. My right foot started growing these massive calluses all over the sides. The heels were cracking. The right foot heel was cracking. It was out of control. I was seeing a foot specialist, and he'd trim it all off and smooth it all out again, and it would all grow back. Like within a couple months, I likened it to like leprosy. It was just like dead skin, and it was gross. It hurt after a while. I couldn't walk. And then my kidneys started going on me. So what ended up happening through that was I quit the medication I was on. I quit the lithium because I realized that was poisoning me to death. Slowly. I was slowly getting low-level radiation poisoning, really. I couldn't sleep at night. My body wasn't processing water. I was so dehydrated. I didn't complain about it on here. I didn't go on my socials and do much social media back then. I've definitely made up for it in the last 6 to 7 months of my life. Too much, especially when I was manic, because it was just so many over-the-top things and super religious type themes, and when I get into that state, I'm trying not to be religious, but I know how it comes across, and it's just like too much. So back to the lithium, I quit the lithium, cold turkeyed it. My doctor had tried to, my psychiatrist said, just take a little bit less, and he wanted to taper me off because he knew, because he's done this for a long time, what happens to people when they cold turkey their medication. As soon as I cold turkeyed, actually there was one night I was lying in bed before I cold turkeyed, and I was laying on one side, and suddenly I started smelling burnt toast. And like burnt toast is usually a sign that you could be having a stroke coming on. We don't want that happening. So I quickly flipped over to the other side, and it went away, and I got up, and I was like, I felt really messed up. And I'm like, that's it. I'm not taking this stuff anymore. So I quit it. And then I wasn't sleeping much. And then I started feeling really good, because this numbing, overwhelming, powerful medication that they've been using since the 50s, they don't even really know how lithium carbonate works. They just know that it does, and it does a really damn good job of nuking you. And I played a lot of chess for the last 5 years while I was on lithium. I'd be playing on my phone for hours and hours, days and days on end, and that's all I was doing. I wasn't watching movies, I wasn't watching any shows, wasn't really playing any sports, wasn't doing anything. Things didn't work out when I was at the pub I was at, and over something really stupid, but I don't want to get into that right now. I wasn't meant to stay there. I wasn't enjoying my time there, and I was so sick from the lithium that I couldn't work right. I was going to the bathroom every 10 minutes, it felt like, and it was just, I didn't have this. I couldn't talk to my customers at the bar. I couldn't interact the way I like to be. I'm back to Richie now, and it's been a long road getting back to me. I mean, 7 months isn't a really long time, but it feels like it's been the longest 7 months since April, May, when I did cold turkey the medication and went really manic. I got apprehended one night driving to Sardis. I was just out ripping around, not speeding, but I'd stopped on the side of the road a couple times and did a happy dance. Whoa, there was just a huge explosion in the background. Maybe a big gunshot of some kind, because they try to scare away the birds that land in their fields. All the farmers out there, they don't like birds landing in their fields. So I'm ripping around Sardis, not ripping around, but just driving around. There's nobody else on the road except for the police. And I stopped at 7-Eleven and I hollered something out at the officer, and I started to drive away. And I said something along the line, so I guess the only good rat's a dead rat, hey officer? And I don't know why I said that. I was manic. You say stupid things, you do impulsive, dumb things when you're manic. And I thought I was being funny. He didn't think it was funny. It sounded like somebody being drunk behind the wheel. So he pulled me over, and they made me blow into a breathalyzer. Well, I haven't drank in almost 4 years, so yay! Thank you. And I've got my mixer right here in front of me with all my little knobbies and stuff. My phone is propped up against my laptop. Perfect spot. So they pulled me over, they made me blow. I blew a 0, but I wouldn't shut up. I was manic, and they knew that I had a mental health crisis going on. I hadn't slept now in quite a few days. I started feeling like I had God thoughts, like everything was connecting, everything happened so fast, and I had 2 police officers really questioning me hard. They took me, because they had to take me to the hospital, because they knew something was wrong, and that's protocol. And they can see I've got prior history in the mental health system and all this. Really just spilling my guts here. But, yeah, they took me downtown, took me to the hospital, and there were 2 of them, and they were both firing questions off of me and bouncing things off of me, and I'm answering, and everything came back to God. Well, God gives me all the answers I need in time, in the moments that I need them, and then they asked me if I thought I was God, and I was so fed up with the whole thing, and I just needed it to stop, because it was going on for hours. It felt like it was going on for a good while. Don't know how long they'd been grilling me for. But it felt like I was under like a hardcore questioning, like I was a person of interest now, and they need to like really get to the bottom of things here. But really they were just killing time until the doctor could see me. And everything is on camera, and I'm just... And they asked, do you think you're God? And I went, yes. Boom. And from there, you got to take your clothes off in another side room, put on hospital wear. They take your clothes, they put them in the wash, because they can't let anything potentially dirty get into the hospital, so they make you get into hospital clothes. And then from there, I don't really remember too much, because then they like fire a whole bunch of medication into you to make you sleep for a little while. And but 3 weeks in there, it went by pretty quick. I had a pretty good time in there, not gonna lie. I ate 3 square meals a day. I made a bunch of friends in there. I was a star in the hospital. I made friends with geese in the hospital. There was a family of four goslings and two parent geese that were rearing their brand new goslings in the courtyard area that runs outside of the psych ward. There's a nice area you can walk and be outside, and the weather was great for the most part. And everywhere I turned, there was this little goose family, and I'd feed them water. I'd feed them food, bread, even though we weren't supposed to, crackers. And everywhere I turned, they were there for me. They became like my comfort animal. And ever since then, I've felt a real strong connection to the entire bird kingdom. The geese, everywhere I go, they're not hissing at me. They're not doing their mean, standoffish things. It's like the entire goose kingdom is like one hive mind, and they know that I took care of that family in the hospital. So they're like, this guy's all right. We'll let him get by without a hiss. And they come to my backyard, like 1,000 of them plus come flying into the field behind here last week. That was insane. So then I was in the hospital for 3 weeks and got out probably too soon, because as soon as I got out, I was back on my social media and blowing up the world and freaking a bunch of people out, scaring tons of friends off. Tons of people were just like, oh my God, we can't put up with Richie doing this anymore. It was me doing it, yeah, but it wasn't, like when we're not of right mind, we do things that aren't us. And I do plead a little bit of momentary insanity. I've never raised a finger on anyone to hurt a fly. I've never done anything like that. I'm bipolar. I'm diagnosed bipolar, but I'm not the angry, mean type. I've gotten angry. I've thrown things around. I've punched things before. I've been stormy, but not too often. Oh, geese up above. But I'm like the most loving, happy, over-the-top, God, caring bipolar person when it comes to being uptight about things. Anyways, yeah. I had a lot of tea in the hospital. Everybody gave me their tea bags. They were, a lot of people didn't drink the tea. So I'd just stock up on extra tea bags that I'd keep in my room. My mom brought me a bag of sugar that I snuck into my room. I wasn't supposed to have that much sugar on me, but I did. So I was counteracting the heavy medication all the time with caffeine and sugar. Self-medicating to counteract the big pharma meds. This is my California Adventure mug. Got this in 2013. Is that a little fly? But the most miraculous thing happened when I was in the hospital. My body, all the things that were going wrong, the toxicity from the lithium went away. My foot, every time I had a shower, it's like it got 10% better every shower. The dead skin healed. Things became soft again. The pain went away. I'd had this malnourished belly happening. I looked pregnant. Like 5-6 months pregnant. I don't know why. I never had a beer belly when I drank all the time, but I had a pretty big beer belly going on for a while on lithium. That started shrinking. Dead weight that I had put on was going away. Yay. Got really fit again. And then they took away my license because of the I'm God thing. Fair enough. I understand. I've never been like, oh, they shouldn't have done that. But I have felt like I waited a long time to get it back. But it's okay. It's all back now. And I'm back. My body's back. My kidneys aren't dying anymore. I can do this and know that I'm not going too crazy about anything right now. I'm excited for a new year. I'm excited for new work opportunities potentially. I'm looking forward to getting some new teeth. My dentures that I had before don't fit anymore. When you lose weight, you lose it in your mouth first. So I yeah, those just fall right out, and the lithium destroyed what's left. You can't really see from here because I'm keeping the camera at a distance, but something I'm a little self-conscious of. But so I'm really sorry for putting people through shit, people that care about me, that don't like this, wouldn't wish this on me, seeing me go through it and then having to back away so that they don't have to be subjected to it anymore. Makes sense. Sucks, but it makes sense. Yeah. Longest year of my life, for sure. So I don't remember anything for the first 3 months. But my mom's home. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. I just had to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
And Michelle's going to be coming over. She wants to have a puff with you before we go out, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dinner.
Yeah. You don't have to come if you don't want to.
I might not.
That's fine.
I'm feeling really homely right now.
Isn't that a nice
Homely?
thing? I know.
Homey. Homely is meaning gross or ugly, isn't it? I can't remember now.
No. Homey. No.
Homey. Homely is like, actually I am homely looking in this thing. Oh, a little duck just landed right through the little bit of ice that's on the creek right now. It's a little thin layer of ice atop the creek, because it's in the shade all day and it's colder there. And the duck came right in and you could see it kind of just break a little bit. That was Mom, my roommate, and my best friend in the whole wide world. She's seen me go through all of my manias. 2004 was my first one. 2008. Didn't have another one for 12 years because I drank every day. And when I drank every day, I kept everything at bay. The hamsters that run around were numbed out. I was a pretty good drunk. I was able to really quite focus and do things still through the intoxications because of just how I'm wired. And then when I quit drinking, anytime I tried to quit, mania would kick back in, and I had one in 2020. I quit booze once and for all in 2022, went manic, was in the hospital for 7 weeks 3 years ago. That's still fresh in a lot of people's minds. It's still fresh in my mind, but not so much. It's old news now. This year was the year to get through. 47. It's a big number out there this year, apparently. It's 47. If you heard anything about that. Not just 6-7. 47. So, that's kind of a nutshell story as to what happened. You know, and when a person with bipolar 1, there's different types. I've got the most severe type. When you get it, and I don't plan on letting that happen again. I stay on the medications I'm on. I just will remember all of this now, and I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to the psychosis that comes with it. It's so scary. I mean, it's wild when you think that people are following you, or they have an app on their phone, and everywhere you go, they're looking at their phone. So you know that they're watching where you're going as a little dot on their screen moving on a map. No, Richard, that's not what's going on. So, yeah, that's an interesting headspace to be in. So thankful that I know reality, and I can be like, ow, that hurts. I am back. So happy New Year to that. And, well, just we'll just wrap that on up for the time being. God bless.